Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I have been wanting to talk about for the longest time. It's kind of a deep topic, so beware. So we're going to be talking about plastic surgery, what I have gotten done, my thoughts on it, and beauty procedures. So for those of you that don't know, I have actually gotten plastic surgery done. So I got a nose job in Mexico when I was 16. So I'm 23 now. So it's been like 8 years, which, wow, I'm old. I mean, I don't regret it at all. I think I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I'm so glad I didn't end up botched. But I really wanted to talk about plastic surgery and my thoughts on it because I think a lot of people see it as a negative thing, and I don't see it in that way. Actually, I've always been like a lover of beauty. I've always enjoyed beauty ever since I was a little girl. But as far as plastic surgery, I think it's amazing that we have that as an option now. But I will say that I feel like you have to really, I feel like you have to love yourself and then get plastic surgery. I think if you hate yourself, you hate the way you look, and you think that plastic surgery is gonna fix that, you should not get plastic surgery, because if you end up getting it and then let's say it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or it doesn't meet your expectations, you're still going to be very unhappy with who you are. In my experience, leading up to my nose job, I was actually very confident in myself. I loved the way I looked. I didn't think I really needed a nose job, but the opportunity just came about. So I decided to get it done, and I was so happy with the results because in my head, I was like, well, I can only look better, than what I look like now. Because I feel like if I had been very unhappy with the way I looked before, and then I had gotten a nose job, and then I had seen myself with my new nose, I would have been a little bit traumatized because I looked like a completely different person. Someone said, I would have never known you had a nose job. Was it something you were scared of at first? And what was the before and after? Is it painful? So was it something I was scared of? Not really, because like I said, I had very limited time to be prepared for it. So it was kind of like we went in, and then like a few days later, I went and got the nose job. I think when I actually got to the hospital, I was just a little bit nervous because I'm like, oh my God, what if I die on the bed? Like that's it. But I was like, I remember laying down, and they put the little mask on so you can like fall asleep. And I mean, you just fall asleep. You don't even really think. So I do remember that after that, I think an hour had gone by into my surgery, and I think it was wearing off. And I kind of started to hear the people in the background. So I heard the doctors in the background. And I think I kind of woke up. And I felt that the doctor was still hammering my nose, and it wasn't painful, but I felt it, and I was so freaking scared. And I think I made a noise, and he was like, it's okay, we're about to be done. And after that, I made myself fall asleep again, because I was like, I cannot go through me being kind of half awake during my surgery. That was so scary. But is it painful? Like I said, no. You obviously don't feel anything going in, and then afterwards I did everything as normal, honestly. It was just uncomfortable. That's the only thing I will say. And what all would you say is too much plastic surgery? I think beauty procedures are definitely the way to go now. I think you can do so much without actually going under the knife. So I would suggest that if you want to get things done, try to see an alternative for surgery. I don't think you have to get surgery in order to look a certain way. There's fillers, injections, so many things that you can do nowadays. Too much plastic surgery is if you go from looking like one person and then looking like a complete opposite, different person. That's way too much plastic surgery. So do it tastefully if you are going to do it, but that's all I would say about that. Another question people have is, what is the recovery process? So for me, I remember getting my nose job, and I remember waking up and sitting in a chair like this one. Actually, no, it was a bed. And I felt the gauzes and like all the patching like on my nose, and it was just kind of like an overwhelming feeling of like, I don't know, honestly my body felt very exhausted. And so I remember getting up and I kind of shed some tears. My mom was there to comfort me. I remember going home that night and I remember eating like some seafood. I think you're not supposed to do that. And I remember waking up the next day and feeling completely fine. Obviously it's very uncomfortable because you do have to change the gauzes because, you know, blood is coming out, like boogers come out, everything. And for maybe like a 3-week period, I had to put like some kind of saline solution up my nose to cleanse my nose and to make sure that whenever I went for the checkup, you know, I didn't have like, I don't know, like I guess boogers built up in there. I don't know. It just cleanses everything so you don't have like blood in there or anything like that. But I remember like I wasn't in pain, and also I didn't have a lot. I did have some bruising around my eyes, but it wasn't a lot. And I think that depends on how much they mess with your actual bone structure on your nose. And so for me, I didn't have like a huge hump or I didn't have anything like that. What they did was more my tip. So because they didn't mess a lot with my actual bone structure right here, I didn't have a lot of bruising around my eyes. But I have seen people where they like, you know, have to like really shave down the nose, and then that's when like those people's eyes are just... I remember, I think after 2 weeks, I went in for my checkup and they kind of took, you know, the little bandages around my nose, and I was able to see it for a quick second in the mirror before they had to put the bandages on again. And then after that process, it was like 3 months that I still had to wear the bandages. And then after 3 months, I was able to take them off and like finally see my face and my nose and the way that I was going to look like for, you know, the rest of my life. I will say that it was a little bit shocking because I was like, wow, like I kind of look different. And I remember at that time, I feel like my nose looked so small compared to what I was used to. So because it was so small, I was like, oh my God, my cheeks look bigger. Like my face just looks so weird. And honestly, I was very panicked because I was like, dude, I do not look good. Like I look crazy. So this is where it comes in. It's like you have to already be confident in yourself and you have to love yourself. So no matter what happens, you're still going to accept yourself for who you are. But I think just that immediate like, oh, wow, I was like, it was crazy. But I will say that my doctor did tell me that like after a year, your nose kind of settles in with your face, and like after a year, you finally see like the actual results of what it's going to look like for the rest of your life, which that is true. After a year, I feel like I kind of got, you know, like the hang of my face, and I was able to do my makeup differently. And I don't know, just my nose settled into my like whole face. So then after a year, I was like very happy with it. I love the way I look now. But there definitely was a transition from like looking at yourself in the mirror and looking a certain way, and then like looking completely different. Obviously Botox, which I have a video for. I've done my lips, which I also have a lip testimonial on if you guys want to go check that out. I've gotten a lot of facials. A more powerful facial was the vampire facial, where they draw blood and then like they spin it around to get the plasma, and then they put it on your face and then they kind of needle it in your face. That was like another beauty procedure that I've gotten done. I think I got some filler under my eye once, and then obviously my nose job. So those are the beauty procedures I've gotten done, and most of those I've gotten done here at Skintastic. So if that's something that you want to look into, definitely come here, check them out. Okay guys, so I'm here with Dr. Adelglass. Like I said, he did my Botox, he did my lip fillers, and I'm super happy with them. So he knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for 30 years. He's awesome. And so today we're just going to talk about his thoughts on plastic surgery and just, you know, some questions that some people have. He's going to answer them for you. So, what is a good candidate for plastic surgery?
Well, there are many different kinds of candidates that we work with. In general, however, if you start with a beautiful girl, you can always make that young lady more beautiful. And in your case, you had great structure, great viability, and you were a perfect candidate.
Back in the day, so whenever I got my nose job, you know, I feel like beauty and beauty and cosmetic procedures weren't as known and weren't as popular as they are now. And I actually didn't know, but now you can get actual like nose jobs with fillers or Botox. So do you want to talk about that a little bit for those people that maybe want to get a nose job or are looking to get some kind of plastic surgery, but they don't have to go under the knife anymore because there's many alternatives?
That is so true. Now there's a new age, the millennials. And the millennials have no shame. They want to look. So it's a very much step forward that all people, no matter what you look like, couldn't be improved with non-invasive, non-ablative procedures. What this means is that a knife is not necessary.
Okay, so what is the age limit of, someone coming in and wanting to get plastic surgery?
Well, generally we like to see patients at above 21. In exceptional cases, we see people down to 18 and sometimes into their mid and late 60s, depending upon what they want to do.
So let's say I did come in and I was like, I want to look like this person. What would you tell me?
I tell you that you are so beautiful. Why do you want to look like that ugly?
Oh my God.
I don't want to change anything. I just want to make myself the best person I could be. I want you to be the best person you could be. I don't want you to be another woman.
Like someone else.
I have one wife. If I came home to a different wife, I wouldn't know what to do.
Right. And so I think that's a thing that with plastic surgery or beauty procedures, I feel like people think about it in a very negative way. And sometimes I just think like people that do get plastic surgery done the correct way, they end up looking so great that they don't even have to wear makeup at all. And I think that's awesome. Okay guys, so I hope that video was super informative and you guys learned something new. If you guys are looking into getting plastic surgery or any beauty procedures or even just facials, Skintastic offers free consultations, so just call them or email them. I'll link all their information down below. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time.